Okay. Hi, I'm Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ariana.
How are you, Ariana?
I'm okay. Just kind of sad, I guess.
Okay. Well, before we go into that, I do want to talk about the confidentiality agreement. Anything you share with me will be confidential. I'm not going to share with my colleagues, my family, my friends. Anything you say will be kept between us. The only time I would have to break confidentiality is if you were to say you felt like harming yourself or if you're going to harm someone else.
Okay.
And another part of my technique, I do like to take notes. This is just for me, it's not secretive or will be shown to anyone. And they're just for my own record, so I remember what you're saying. So if at any time you want to see my notes, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to share them with you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so tell me why you're here. What's going on?
Well, I guess I'm just really sad. I'm sad a lot of, like, every day of the week, so I guess you could say I'm depressed.
Okay, depressed. Can you tell me more about that?
I think some big reasonings is to me being depressed is I don't get along with my mom, like, at all. It's not good. And I'm just a very negative person. I have a negative attitude towards everything, so I don't think I make myself feel any better.
Okay. So where do you think these negative thoughts come from?
Probably ever since I was little, I was always into like a lot of sports and stuff, and my mom always was constantly telling me like I needed to do something better, or I needed to do this, or I wasn't good enough, and recently, even though I'm older, I like to paint, and so I'll be really excited because I think I do like a good job painting, and I'll come home and I'll come show her, and she'll just say something like, "Oh, like you were doing that, you're wasting your time," and she'll just say like negative things like that put me down and basically tell me like I'm not good enough. And I think after hearing it over and over and over again, I finally started to believe it. So I just do it myself now.
Mhm. Okay, well, I'm glad that you find things that you like to do and you feel that you're good at them. Um, so would you say that these negative feelings overpower all the good feelings you have about yourself?
Yeah, probably because whenever I feel like I do a good job at something, or I know I'm doing a good job at something, there's constantly little voices in my head saying like it's not good enough, it's not good enough, like give up, don't do it, like. So I don't know. I think I make those good days bad just because of the way I think about it, but I do think that the negative thoughts have a big impact on me.
I know you mentioned your mom. Was there ever anybody else or any situations or settings that you encountered in your life that led you to feel like you weren't enough?
Yeah, actually, my freshman year of high school, I made the varsity softball team, which is like the top softball team. Everyone wants to make it, so you should be happy. Like I was a freshman, I made it, but everybody else didn't really seem to feel that way. They didn't want me to be on the team because I was a freshman, and I got bullied by people that were on the team and that were not on the team. So, like, they would leave me notes in my locker and in my backpack and on my desk saying that I wasn't good enough, that I should quit, I shouldn't play softball, I'm bad at it. And it just, even on the softball field, like, I could hear my teammates talking about me, and I knew they didn't like me because I took their spot, but um, it was just a negative atmosphere. It affected my game. I was playing awful. I didn't want to go to practice. I didn't want to go to school, and it just got really bad. I just thought I didn't belong there anymore, and I didn't want to be there anymore. So, yeah, that's another time.
Wow, that was a tough time getting bullied. Do you think that was the lowest point in your life?
No, that was probably just one of them, but not the lowest.
Oh, wow. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Well, the lowest time I would say would be my senior year. and it was the second semester of senior year. That's when like senior like things are coming up, like you have to pay for a lot of senior things, and um scholarships were due, so I had a lot of scholarships. And the thing was, I didn't know how to do them myself, so I needed to ask my mom. And knowing that we don't get along, it wasn't a good idea.
Right.
There was a lot of long nights of constantly just going back and forth, her telling me what I did was dumb or stupid, or just what I wrote on my essay was not good. And that was just really overwhelming for me, because I was like, wow, I might as well not do it then. And so while doing that, I was also playing softball. And so just the negativity that I got from doing the scholarships, it was bringing me down in softball, because I felt like I couldn't do it there either. I was striking out and messing up when I never do. And so it was just unlike me to do that. And even, I guess, in the classroom, my attitude changed. I didn't want to do anything. My grades were dropping, and so my teachers were starting to question me, and I just felt like there was just so much going on. And it was pretty bad when the week of my 18th birthday was over spring break, and I didn't want to do anything. And who doesn't want to do anything for their 18th birthday? So I was just like, stayed in my room. I didn't talk to anybody. I said thanks for people who told me happy birthday, but that was it. And I think it just kept getting worse. And then it finally just one day, it was awful. My grandpa, who was like my best friend, we were best friends. He passed away, and it was just all of a sudden. And I think that's what broke me, because we were really close. And he was supposed to be there for my senior night for softball, for graduation, and he wasn't. And it was just a really negative time, and I didn't like it, and I was just really sad, and I couldn't get out of it. And I don't know when this feeling went away, but it was there for a really long time, and I think I'm going back to that feeling again.
Wow, well, you had a lot of things on your plate. It just sounded like a really hard time in your life. If you could put a title on it, or think of a name you could name this period of your life, what would you call this?
I'd probably call it the breaking.
The breaking. You want to explain a little more about that?
I'd call it that because I always had such like negativity towards myself that I was just able to like push it, like get over it. And just this time it finally got to me. I didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to do anything. The things that I enjoyed most, I didn't even want to do anymore. And I think that's when it finally got to me. So I would call it the breaking.
Okay. And what do you think you take away most from this life experience? How do you think this has shaped you as a person?
What I take away most is probably that I would never want to feel that way again. Like, it was just such an ugly feeling, and I would never wish that upon anybody. Like, the feeling of just never being good enough, like being alone, like it wasn't good. And I think what I can like what I shape myself as, that I need to open up, because at that time I didn't open up to anybody. I hid all my feelings. I didn't talk to anybody, and I realized that I needed to do that. So I think that's how it shaped me.
Well, I'm glad that you realized that you do need to open up. You can't just shut down. So I remember you mentioned you have a lot about softball and painting. Do you think that helps your problem of depression?
Yeah, sometimes, because like those things make me happy. So I really enjoy doing both of those activities. So whenever I am feeling a little down, I like to paint lots, so I'll probably go to that first. But if I could, I would play softball too, just to get me out of that mind state.
So can you think of a time when depression or the breaking Did it have such a big influence on your life? Maybe situations where you were able to fight against it?
Yeah, probably this past summer. I was with my friends a lot, so I was hardly ever home, and all we did was travel and just do fun things together. And so, I was always in a loving and fun environment, so I really didn't have people that put me down or anything, and I didn't want to put myself down. I was in a happy state of mind.
Well, it sounds like you had a really good summer, where you were able to surround yourself with positive people. Um, so maybe when you're feeling down, you could think back to this summer, and think of things you can do to make yourself feel better.
I could try that.
Okay. Well, thank you for talking with me.
Thanks for listening.